So when you're dealing with kids, very often the quickest way to get from A to B is not a straight line, it's a circle. Let me explain. So there was a mom recently who was dealing with her daughter, who is a very type A, whip smart, super sensitive girl who really wants to please everybody, but isn't that pleasant all the time. She loves her, but she can be a firecracker. Then she's got a younger kid who is a boy, who is a much kind of simpler kid, kind of a jokester, more easygoing, and kind of just funny. Well, this older sister loves her brother, but finds him infuriating. And the other day at dinner, the little boy was making a bunch of jokes, and the older sister started calling him stupid and saying how unfunny his jokes were. And the mom got really upset. And she said, well, now you're going to have to do something extra nice for your brother to make up for it. The little girl sat there at the dinner table, her face turning bright red and tears just spouting from her eyes. And the mom thought, what am I doing? I'm not even punishing her. I'm just asking her to do something nice for her brother because she's being mean. Isn't this what we're supposed to do, is teach our kids to be nice? Yes. But when we tell our kids to be nice when they're not feeling nice, oh boy, does that grow some more mean. Let me explain. Imagine that you are working in a company. And imagine that you are that type A person who files all the reports. You go to extra lengths to make sure that everything is done exactly right. And some Yahoo brings in shiny red cups into the coffee room. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, wow. Did you see George? He brought in shiny red cups into the coffee room. And you're like, yeah, did anybody notice that incredible report that I did that helped save us lots of money? And everybody's like, yeah, but how about those shiny red cups? So, that's how she was feeling. And then what if somebody turned to her and said, you're not appreciating George's shiny red cups? Could you please make sure you do something very nice for him to make sure he knows his shiny red cups are appreciated? Now, to be fair, listen, it's really great to have somebody who brings the shiny red cups. And I actually don't mean that facetiously. That's just how she sees it, right? The truth of the matter is that what the young son is doing is super important. Having people who are jokesters and pranksters and light at heart is an incredible asset in our families, in our communities, in our culture at work, at large. We pay stand-up comedians a lot of money for a good reason. It is really important to have lightness and joy in our lives. So when we have kids who are like this, it's wonderful. But when we have kids who have other values, like this other daughter, who values hard work and wants to be rewarded for her efforts, only to find herself not being seen, and then finding somebody else's efforts that she considers less important to be, super valued, it's not going to go well in the family, right? So both kids are of complete and total value. And both kids need to be valued for what each of them bring individually. So I suggested to this mom that instead of making her do something nice for the younger brother, which is just going to make her resent him more and is a recipe for lots more meanness down the road, instead of taking that straight line, we should take a circular path, which is next time they're at the table, definitely laugh at his jokes, but also make sure to ask her about something hard that she accomplished that day. What did she do today? How did that math test go that she was working for so hard? Make sure she feels seen too. And you'll see that if you actually shine the light on her, she'll be so bright. She'll shine the light on her brother. And we see this all the time. So the way to get her to be able to appreciate her brother's skills is to actually appreciate her for hers. That's why a circle is much more effective than a straight line.